Today we will be discussing credit and debit cards. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to answer the following questions. What are they? How do they work? And what are the differences between them? Credit and debit cards are a way of spending money without using paper currency or actual money. Let's have a look at some of the similarities between a credit card and a debit card. They can both be used instead of paper money. They can both be used at any time, for example on the internet, in shops or in hotels or ATMs, 24 hours a day. And they can both be used to withdraw cash from an ATM up to around 600 euros per day. Both credit and debit cards can be used for contactless payment for a max of 30 euros 3 times a day. Contactless payment is when you touch your card off the screen of a shop's card reader and you don't have to enter a PIN. Both cards can also be used for online purchases. Now that we have looked at the similarities between credit and debit cards, let us look at what the differences are between credit cards and debit cards. Firstly, when you use a credit card, you are not using your own money, you are using the bank's money. Therefore, this is a loan. At the end of the month, you will get a bill and you must pay back some or all of this bill. Any money that you do not pay back will be subject to interest. On the other hand, when you use a debit card, you are using your own money. You can't spend any more money than you have in your account. For example, if you have 50 euros in your account, then you can only spend up to 50 euros with your card. And that money is taken from your account as soon as you have spent it. So remember, when you use a credit card, you are taking out a loan. And when you use your debit card, you are spending your own money. In terms of what you can do with the cards, there are significant differences. Firstly, a credit card can be used for up to any amount that you have agreed with your bank. This is known as your credit limit. For example, you could have a credit limit of 50,000 euros and walk in and buy a car. If your limit is 1,000 euros, then that is the most money you can put on your card. Debit cards can only be used for transactions up to 1,500 to 2,000 euros per day. And it can only be used up to as much money as you have in your bank account. So like in the last example, if you only have 50 euros in your bank account, you can only use your card for transactions up to 50 euros. Another difference between credit cards and debit cards is the issue of cashback. Cashback is where you are paying for something with your card and you ask the person on the till to put the transaction through for what you are buying plus an extra amount, which they will give you in cash. You cannot get cashback on a credit card. However, you can get cashback on a debit card for up to 100 euros per transaction. You can also withdraw up to 600 euros per day from an ATM with a credit card, but there is an extra fee, whereas you can withdraw up to 600 euros per day from an ATM with a debit card without getting this extra fee. So, remember that you can use both a credit card and a debit card instead of using money. However, when you are using a credit card, you are spending the bank's money and you will have to pay it back. And when you are using a debit card, you are spending your own money, which is taken directly out of your account immediately.